Right now, the suspect in a shooting death of a UW Whitewater gymnast appearing in court today as the Whitewater community looks for answers. Also, a local civil rights leader known for his work all across Wisconsin has passed away. How community members are remembering Joe McLean. And later, News 3 Now looks into how abortion is playing a role in this year's election and its future, depending on who wins the presidency. You're watching News 3 Now at 6. A 23-year-old man is in custody tonight in connection to the deadly shooting of a 21-year-old UW Whitewater student. Police say he and the victim, Kara Welsh, knew each other. Our Jalen Banks joins us live now from the UW Whitewater campus, where he spoke to students about the incident on the first day of class today. Jalen, what have you heard?
Eric, as you just mentioned, today is the first day of classes here at UW Whitewater, kicking off the school year, and UW Whitewater has well over 10,000 students. So as you'd imagine, I've gotten an array of reactions, emotions from students here at the campus, but the most common that you'd expect is they're just simply feeling sad.
Very sad time.
That's what many are feeling after the tragic murder of UW Whitewater gymnast Kara Welsh.
It just makes me think that we need to just enjoy what we can and remember to make friends and make sure that they're always safe, and to just check in with people during this time.
For Nicholas, a junior here at UW Whitewater, the past few days have been uneasy, but he finds a new sense of peace with the arrest of Chad Richards.
It definitely makes me feel a lot better as a student knowing that, because I know when I first heard about the news, I thought, obviously you hear the rumors going around and stuff like that, so you don't know all the information, but I've been hearing a rumor that he's still out there, so the fact that I just heard that he's in custody makes me feel, and in court, makes me feel a lot better about the whole situation.
But that doesn't remove the pain many are still feeling.
Definitely some grief happening. I mean, very sad time. I mean, it's just really heartbreaking to see that happen and hear about it.
However, that healing will happen by leaning on what many describe Whitewater to be, a family.
I know the athlete and like the teams, I know they're all like try to be like one family. All the athletics brought together, it's just one big family.
Now, News 3 Now heard from UW Whitewater's athletic department earlier today. They're saying that no one from the department or the athletes are going to speak publicly at this time due to the sensitivity and just how recent this incident happened. But over the weekend, we did receive statements from UW Whitewater's gymnastics head coach and their director of intercollegiate athletics. You can find those on our website at channel3000.com. Now, as for the suspect, the one who murdered Kara Welsh, his bond is set for $1 million. For now, reporting in Whitewater, Jalen Banks, News 3 Now.
Jalen, thank you. Platteville police say they are investigating after two people discovered human remains. In a release from the Platteville Police Department Facebook page, officers say two people found what they believe to be human remains in a heavily wooded area of the city yesterday. Officers arrived and confirmed it was an unidentified body and brought in the Department of Forensic Sciences and Crime Scene Response Unit. Police are now trying to identify the individual and what led to their death. If you have any information, you're asked to contact Platteville Police. We shift now to weather. Warm temperatures continue this week. It's going to get chilly by the weekend. Here's Alex with the latest.
Oh, indeed, yes. Fall-like temperatures on the way to southern Wisconsin. It's going to be quite the shock compared to just a week ago when we were in the 90s with heat index values well into the 100s. We've got low 60s for highs. That's it. That's all we're going to do by the time we get to Saturday. 63, low temperatures Saturday night could dip as cool as the upper 30s to the lower 40s across much of southern Wisconsin. A little warmer on Sunday at 67, but we'll still have a bit of a breeze. So cool weekend ahead. Not cool right now. Pleasant, mild, 75 in Madison, 75 in Janesville, 77 to the west in Boscobel, and to the north up in the Dells, we've got 76 degrees. Lots of 75s across Dane County. That's popular. Beautiful evening to get out, do a walk. I plan to do a walk here after our show. With low humidity levels, it's going to be a beautiful evening overall. Temperatures dipping down about 60. Jacob will be here for the 10 o'clock newscast. As we go into the wee hours of Wednesday morning, we'll see those temperatures fall into the 50s. Low temperatures tonight right around 52 degrees. Don't be surprised to see a little bit of that patchy fog again in some of those low-lying areas that have been experiencing a little bit of fog to start these past couple of mornings. That cold air across southern Wisconsin is coming but we need something to make that transition. A cold front coming through Thursday night. Coming up in Maine weather, we have scattered storm chances. Thursday night, we'll track that front together in a few minutes.
Alex, thank you. President Biden returning to Wisconsin on Thursday. He'll be speaking in Westby, that's south of La Crosse, about 40 minutes outside La Crosse. And there, the president's expected to highlight how his Investing in America agenda is benefiting communities across the state. The location and exact time of his appearance is unknown. He's set to speak sometime in the afternoon hours. It'll be his first visit to the Badger State since visiting Madison back on July 5th. And also returning to Wisconsin this week, former President Donald Trump set to attend a rally in Mosinee on Saturday near Wausau. This is after he held a town hall in La Crosse last week. Meanwhile, a number of top Republican surrogates will visit Milwaukee on Thursday. They'll attend a town hall organized by the Trump-Vance campaign. The list includes former Wisconsin Governor Tommy Thompson, 1st District Congressman Brian Stile, and commentator Monica Crowley. U.S. Secretary of Education Miguel Cardona launching this year's back-to-school bus tour in Wisconsin. Today, Secretary Cardona held several events across the state, from Green Bay, Oneida, and finally Mazomanie, where he talked about issues specific to rural schools and school districts, including keeping teachers from rural areas in those areas because their shared life experiences can help the next generation.
No, this is home. I'm giving back, and there's that feeling of it's more than a job. I'm helping the community that helped raise me, which is something that I experienced. I worked in the same district that I was educated in, and so I know that feeling of, no, this is my community.
And this week, a multi-state road trip will showcase the many ways that schools, families, and communities are doubling down on accelerating student achievement and raising the bar in public education with investments and other support from the Biden-Harris administration. Local civil rights leader Joe McClain has passed away. He's known for his work all over Wisconsin, from fighting for fair housing to fighting against the school-to-prison pipeline. Our Tanisha Shaw has more.
Joe McClain exemplified excellence for nearly 100 years. I got the chance to speak to people who knew him, who say he was a natural-born leader.
The fact that he, at 97, his mind is sharp as yours and mine. I mean, he may have been older, I'm not going to say old, older, but his mind, and that was the thing that always impressed me.
The civil rights movement is a pivotal moment in history, from the 50s to the late 60s. Thousands across the country held protests to end racial segregation. Here in Wisconsin, we often hear names like Velar Phillips and Father Grappy.
They march in the snow, in the rain. They marched consistently for those 200 days and evenings throughout the city of Milwaukee.
Joe McClain was a longtime Madison resident, and he was right beside them.
They came into this movement as regular young people, as regular kids, starting from 12 to 20 years old. They had no prior experience doing this. And Father Grappy and the others educated them on what they were actually doing, and some of them really exhibited real positive responses to that. And Joe McClain was one of the people who did so.
Now, McClain is leaving behind a legacy of leadership and dedication.
I actually know some of the adults now, but who used to be his children in the Arts Prevention Program. He still means a lot to them today. He's just an amazing man, and I really cared a lot about him, and I'm just gonna miss him.
Reporting in Madison, Tanisha Shaw, News 3 Now.
McClain's family says they are planning to hold his funeral in October. Well, the League of Women Voters of Dane County is inviting the public to a forum. It's meant to discuss the 2 tax referendums from the Madison School District. Those referendums each amount to about $100 million and $500 million. The forum is tonight, 6:30 at the UW South Madison Partnership Building on Park Street. Coming up next on News 3 Now at 6, Costco customers will be paying more for memberships. How much those prices are going up. Plus, Special Olympics Wisconsin returning to the Dells this week. How you can help make these games a success.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6, brought to you by Gruber Law Offices.
After a serious truck crash, you need a team who knows how to handle trucking cases and gets results. You need Gruber Law Offices. There's never a fee until we win. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Keeping tabs on our kids' screen time can be tough. So SSM Health and News 3 Now created the Time for Kids digital playbook. Join us for tips to help your family set rules and stay safe in the digital world by taking Time for Kids.
Steinhoffel's biggest Labor Day sale has been extended. There's still time to get amazing deals on closeouts and bonus buys, like this sofa now $2.99, a Beauty Rest Queen mattress $3.99, this dining table just $4.99, or a queen bed for $10.49. Plus, make your new room even more affordable with Steinhoffel's 36-month financing. This is your last chance for Labor Day deals at Steinhoffel's. Shop in store or online at steinhoffels.com.
Women need to pay close attention
to what Eric Hovde says about access to abortion.
Hovde's all in about opposing reproductive rights.
I am totally opposed to abortion.
And he wanted Roe overturned.
Do you think Roe versus Wade should be overturned?
Yes. So Eric Hovde is okay with politicians overruling decisions of doctors like me.
My patients worry about what Hovde will take away next.
A vote for Eric Hovde means we'll lose even more control over our lives.
Women Vote is responsible for the content of this ad.
Keeping tabs on our kids' screen time can be tough. So SSM Health and News 3 Now created the Time for Kids digital playbook. Join us for tips to help your family set rules and stay safe in the digital world by taking Time for Kids.
There's a lot to love about life in the 608. Fundraisers, farmers markets, family events.
Tell Josh what inspires you, and it might be featured on News 3 Now this morning in the 608. Weekdays only on News 3 Now this morning. You are watching News 3 Now at 6.
Welcome back. Costco is raising its membership fees for the first time since 2017. An annual membership is going from $60 to $65. The executive membership rose from $120 to $130. The changes impact about 52 million memberships. It applies to new signups and renewals, and it's not just Costco. Competitor Sam's Club also raising its fees. They did so nearly 2 years ago. More than 800 athletes from across the state are heading to Wisconsin Dells this week for the Special Olympics Wisconsin Fall Games. An opening ceremony at Chula Vista will welcome all athletes, coaches, family members, and fans on Friday at 7 p.m. And then on Saturday, bocce, flag football, and softball competitions will take place at the Woodside Dells Sports Complex. Then all culminates to the medal round set for Sunday.
This is a celebration and culmination of this our fall sports season, and a really great opportunity for athletes to show off what they've done this year and their skills that they have in all those sports.
More than 100 volunteers are still needed for multiple roles throughout the weekend. Volunteers get a free T-shirt. A full schedule of events can be found on the Fall Games page of the Special Olympics Wisconsin website. After the break, it's been one of the key issues at the center of the 2024 election cycle, abortion. Still ahead, we'll take an in-depth look at the impact the overturn of Roe v. Wade has had on Wisconsin and what the outcome of this year's election could have on that very issue. And could we see temperatures dip below 50 later by the weekend? Alex returns. His complete forecast when we come back.
Save big at Wanakee Furniture ETC. Choose an Amish handcrafted sofa from our showroom or let our design experts customize a look for you during the Smith Brothers factory authorized sale.
Save big on quality Smith Brothers furniture
at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
Here's a few things I believe. Middle-class families, like the one I grew up in, they want common sense solutions. You want lower prices and lower taxes. I believe you want to just not get by, but you want to get ahead. We must create an opportunity economy where everyone has a chance to get a car loan, buy a home, start a business. But most of all, that instead of being focused on the politics of the past, we need to be thinking about the future. I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Many car commercials are the same, but unbeatable deals and unmatched service isn't just a tagline for Janesville Nissan. It's in everything we do. We treat people the way we want to be treated, and that's not the same at many dealerships. Come see why you'll feel great buying a vehicle from Janesville Nissan. Unbeatable deals and unmatched service.
Tens of millions of roofs across America are failing, wearing out decades early and leaking, oftentimes without you knowing about it, causing tremendous damage. Here's how you know you have a problem with your roof. Black streaking, your roof looks rough, or granules shedding off into your gutters or showing up in your driveway. Your roof is wearing out too fast and it's going to cost you a bundle. RoofMax makes your roof like new by strengthening and rejuvenating it. So give us a call and we'll give you a free assessment to see if your roof qualifies.
Building up the middle class will be a defining goal of my presidency.
She'll do it with new ideas to make middle-class life more affordable. New caps on the price of medicine, new investments in clean energy to bring down costs for families. And while Trump will cut taxes for the super rich, she'll cut taxes for the rest of us. A stronger middle class, a future we can afford. LCB Victory Fund and FFPAC are responsible for the content of this ad.
Save big at Wanakee Furniture ETC. Choose an Amish handcrafted sofa from our showroom or let our design experts customize a look for you during the Smith Brothers factory authorized sale.
Save big on quality Smith Brothers furniture.
At Wanakee Furniture ETC.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Down to 62 days now until Election Day, and we're spending the next few months breaking down the issues that matter to you in our 3 for the People coverage, bringing you the facts and information you want before you head to your polling station. And this week, we're tackling the issue of abortion. What does it look like in Wisconsin today, and what will this election mean for the issue moving forward? Braden Ross reports.
Breaking news out of Washington, D.C. The U.S. Supreme Court has overturned Roe v. Wade.
It's one of the central issues of this campaign season. Abortion. But let's cut through the noise and take a look at the facts so you can make an informed decision this November.
The Wisconsin Department of Health Services tracks all abortions that happen in the state. Every year, they release a report like this one. The most recent one is from 2022. But because Roe was overturned that year and all abortions stopped in June, we're going to take a look at 2021. So here are the highlights. In 2021, there were about 6,500 reported abortions here in Wisconsin. The state hit its peak all the way back in 1980 at almost 22,000. Since then, the numbers have been steadily dropping. About 40% of abortions in 2021 were performed for women under the age of 24. A quarter of those were for girls in their teens. And in 2021, 88% of abortions were done within the first trimester of pregnancy. But in June 2022, things changed dramatically.
The overturn of Roe v. Wade, a 1973 United States Supreme Court decision enshrining the right to abortion nationwide, sent the question of legality back to the states. In Wisconsin, that meant the return of a pre-Civil War ban on the procedure, and abortion providers were forced to stop doing them immediately. For more than a year, Wisconsin abortion providers and women seeking them traveled across state lines to neighbors like Illinois and Minnesota for care. But advocates challenged the ban in court, and by September 2023, with a Dane County court decision in their favor, Planned Parenthood of Wisconsin started performing abortions in Wisconsin again.
So where does Wisconsin law stand right now?
We're in a little bit of a murky situation here in Wisconsin.
The Wisconsin Supreme Court has agreed to hear 2 cases challenging abortion restrictions in the state. But until then,
on a practical level, we are where we were pre-Dobbs.
Like before, there are still only 3 clinics in the state of Wisconsin that provide abortions, one in Madison, one in Milwaukee, and one in Sheboygan. The procedure is banned after 21 weeks and 6 days of pregnancy, but there are exceptions to save the pregnant person's life or preserve their physical health. Wisconsin also has a 24-hour waiting period, meaning patients must see their abortion provider in person at least twice before they can get the procedure.
All right, so where do the candidates stand on the issue?
Well, Vice President Kamala Harris has repeatedly said this about abortion.
And when Congress passes a bill to restore reproductive freedom, as President of the United States, I will proudly sign it into law.
Former President Donald Trump has repeatedly said he's proud that Supreme Court justices he appointed helped to send the issue back to the states.
Getting it back to the states puts the question where it belongs.
But he's also gone back and forth on whether he would support a federal ban, despite advocating for one in the past. And when asked last week how he'd vote on a ballot measure in his home state of Florida that would ban the procedure after 6 weeks, he said this.
I think 6 weeks, you need more time than 6 weeks. So I'll be voting no for that reason.
Now, this is only the beginning of our deep dive into this issue. Tomorrow, 2 opposing activists make their case for and against legalizing abortion. Then on Thursday, hear from 2 women who have had abortions and now feel differently about them.
Braden, thank you. Temperatures warming up in the rest of the week before a big drop. Alex now with a complete forecast.
Eric, I'm going to emphasize big drop after the 80s that we have Wednesday and Thursday. So tomorrow and Thursday, we'll get into the 80s. Cold front comes through Thursday evening and overnight, and a very chilly fall-like weekend is in store for southern Wisconsin. Nothing fall-like really about this right now in Madison. Barely a cloud in the sky. South winds at 10, 75-degree temperature, and that dew point, when it gets below 50, that's dry. Very, very comfortable conditions out there. Good evening for a walk. I plan to do one myself. Jacob will be back here for the 10 o'clock show as temperatures slide from 74 degrees, 75 right now, to 68 by 8 p.m. and then by 10 p.m. 62 degrees. Beautiful evening to have the windows open. Though you might want to consider shutting them tonight, especially if you're in the Wisconsin River Valley where they tend to cool down a little bit more. 49 degrees for low in Lone Rock. Don't be surprised in the River Valley to have a little bit of fog. Could have some fog up at Camp Douglas, up towards Marquette and Green Lake counties, and also towards Baraboo with temperatures 48 in Wautoma, 51 in Baraboo, 52 in Madison, and 53 to the south in Monroe. That's the warmer spot for this evening. Here's that roller coaster Eric was alluding to. 80 Wednesday, 82 Thursday. Then something happens here. Friday, 70. That big temperature swing, that's a cold front that's coming through. That cold front will be a doozy with temperatures as chilly as 63 degrees on Saturday, 67 on Sunday, but it's short-lived. So if you want the fall, you get it for the weekend. If you want summer temperatures to come back, that returns next week as highs go back into the upper 70s to near 80 degrees. What's the bottom line with this cold front on Thursday? We'll break it down here for you. That cold front will be moving through Thursday afternoon and evening, and there could be some impacts with this front. A couple of storms. If those storms get a little bit on the stronger side, gusty winds would be the main threat. But Future Track isn't all too excited about this line of thunderstorms. Isolated, really, as we go Thursday afternoon. Just a couple of showers, maybe a thunderstorm moving through 2, 3, 4 o'clock, pressing off towards the south and towards the east, towards Janesville, Elkhorn, over towards the Milwaukee area. That's line number 1. Another reinforcing line coming through Richland County, Crawford County towards 6 o'clock, moving towards the Madison area as we get towards 8, 9 o'clock. But notice a lot of breaks in this line. It's not very solid and not very widespread. So we'll be keeping an eye on this cold front. It's possible it could become more through on the dry side than the wet side over the course of the next couple of days. We'll have latest updates. We got to get a little bit more moisture back in here with this front, and that's why Future Track is not too excited with widespread storms in the future. But nonetheless, the chance of a few storms Thursday afternoon and evening with that cold front as we head towards Friday. There's at 70, 63 Saturday, 67 Sunday. That's all we're going to do. A slight chance of a shower on Friday, but cloudy conditions Saturday, windy conditions over the weekend. And then we replace that. We just flip right back to late summer warmth as we go out into the middle and end of next week with mostly dry conditions. We'll be right back.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Look, here's a phone company who wants us to use our phones less.
That's ironic.
Yeah, but in a good way.
Let's find us again with Us Mode. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
It's a free ride.
But I already paid.
Building up the middle class will be a defining goal of my presidency.
She'll do it with new ideas to make middle-class life more affordable. New caps on the price of medicine, new investments in clean energy to bring down costs for families. And while Trump will cut taxes for the super rich, she'll cut taxes for the rest of us. A stronger middle class, a future we can afford. EDF Action Votes and FFPAC are responsible for the content of this advertising.
We're cranking up the voltage, Wisconsin. Lottery retailers all around the state are lighting up with the latest limited time offer. It's Badger 5, 5 will get you 6. During the month of September, players who buy a $5 or greater Badger 5 ticket will receive a bonus ticket for the next drawing of Badger 5. This electric offer is only available for a limited time and only at Wisconsin lottery retailers.
Get an 11% rebate on everything at Menards. Protect your boats and recreational vehicles with FVP, RV, and Marine antifreeze. It has burst-proof protection down to -50 degrees, keeping you protected against freezing temperatures. Get a gallon for $2.49 after rebate. Attract a variety of songbirds and cardinals to your feeder with Enchanted Gardens Cardinal Mix. It's a blend of nutritious seeds that keeps birds coming back. Get a bag for $15.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Donald Trump's out for control, and he has a plan to get it.
Detailed plans for exactly what our movement will do.
It's called Project 2025, a 922-page blueprint to give Trump unchecked power, using the Justice Department to seek vengeance, monitoring women's pregnancies, cutting Medicare and Social Security. Those are Donald Trump's plans. He'll take control, we'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Our phones were made to help us connect, and somehow they've made us less connected, which is ironic. Don't you think? Oh, I love this song so much. Let's find us again with Us Mode. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
Wisconsin volleyball is 0-3 to start the season, but it's not as if they fell off a cliff. They're still the 6th-ranked team in the country. They played 3 top 6 opponents to open the season, and that was a challenge that pushed them to the brink, but also taught them the things that they need to know and the lessons they need to know now rather than later. It's a lesson that Kelly Sheffield has tried to instill into his team and got it this week in Milwaukee. Much happier to have it this week than later.
It's easy to lose. It's easy for us to hang our heads and just say, well, shucks, we suck, and just like, that's it, not get better. It's hard to win that battle. It's hard to want to get back in the gym. It's hard to keep our heads held high and still have hope for this team. And I feel like this team is doing the hard thing. We like hard things, right? So even if we're not winning out there on the court right now, we're winning the battles that come after in practice, the mindset that happens after a loss.
And just a reminder to tune into this week's Wisconsin Huddle. Bryson Green stops by to talk all things Badger football with sports director Zach Hanley. The show airs at 6:30 on Friday right here on News 3 Now. And at 10, you'll hear from the football team that we just got back from talking to. They're playing no slouch this weekend in South Dakota.
South Dakota, yeah, FCS, powerhouse. All right, let's go and talk weather because the South Dakota team is going to feel at home on Saturday.
It's going to be chilly.
It's going to be cool.
Yeah, you'll have to bundle up for sure on Saturday. If you're not used to the fall-like temperatures, if you want it, we got a little bit of summer and a little bit of fall in the forecast. Here's the summer, Wednesday and Thursday. Cold front transitions us to that chilly weekend ahead. That's where we'll experience the fall-like temperatures. If we get storms on Thursday with that front, we got to get a little more moisture in here. Some gusty winds are a possibility with that front. And there's that chilly weekend, but it's short-lived. Summer-like by next week.
All right, we'll take it. Alex, thanks. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6. Have a great evening, and we'll be back here tonight at 10.